President Biden says a ceasefire in Gaza is much closer than it's ever been, but that it's not there yet. Negotiators will meet again next week to try to finalise an agreement between Israel and Hamas for a ceasefire and also the release of hostages. It comes after the funeral of a 22-year-old Palestinian man shot dead when Jewish settlers stormed his village last night. The attack took place in Jit in the north of the occupied West Bank and was condemned by the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu.
You can't fight a war without resources. And now Israel will receive about $20 billion worth of resources from the United States. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken signed off on the massive arms sales, which includes 50 F-15 fighter jets, 320 air-to-air missile launchers, and 33,000 tank shells.
An Israeli strike in southern Lebanon killed at least 9 people, including a woman and her child, according to the Lebanese Health Ministry. 5 others were wounded, with 2 reportedly in a critical condition. Hezbollah and Israel have traded strikes since October the 8th, a day after the Hamas surprise attack into southern Israel, which sparked the ongoing Israel-Hamas war. Hezbollah says it will stop its attack on northern Israel once there is a ceasefire in Gaza. So far, the fighting has killed more than 500 people, including 100 civilians in Lebanon.
The road into the Russian border town of Suja, now under Ukrainian control. Public buildings are left pockmarked. This town in Kursk is just 10 kilometres from the border, and the biggest to fall to Ukraine's troops since its incursion started 10 days ago.
It's about destroying the logistics of the Russian army and draining their reserves. We must inflict maximum damage on all Russian positions, and we're doing that.
Amongst the damage, this key Russian bridge blown up by a Ukrainian missile, cutting off Russian supply lines to parts of Kursk.
The first case of a contagious and dangerous variant of mpox, also known as monkeypox, has been confirmed in Sweden, raising alarm across Europe. The incidence of mpox has surged on the African continent following an outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo in September last year. Sweden's Minister of Health and Social Affairs confirmed the case of a more grave type of mpox known as clade 1. The Director General of the country's public health agency stated that the individual was infected while in a region of Africa.
In Sudan, at least 80 people have been killed in an attack carried out by the paramilitary support forces, the RSF, on a village in Sennar state in central Sudan. A volunteer group said dozens of paramilitary vehicles stormed the village and stormed into homes and opened fire and residents. And they had initially come on 3 army trucks and faced anger from villagers, after which they returned and carried out the attacks. Sudan has been ravaged by civil war since April of 2023, when fighting broke out between the army and the paramilitary rapid support forces, the RSF.